this race today. I think we can go down towards the smog-bound grid where Huiling will be trying to get us some interviews. We can't go down just now. How are you seeing this one go? Aslan Shah Kamruzaman in such great nick yesterday. We were focused on Abiwak and Titipong, but Aslan Shah had a great race.
I think there's a couple of people you need to look at this today that didn't perform probably as we would have expected yesterday. Brock Parks, he was off the pace. I'm sure that they would have been working hard overnight to put that right. And then what about that Ducati, the number 15 of Federico Sandi? I mean, what a race he had. He was leading up until 3 laps to go, then dripped off the pace. If they can find something, wow.
Zakwan Zaidi as well. He crashed out. Very unusual mistake from Zakwan. He's normally Mr. Consistent.
Well, he had an amazing warm-up this morning. He was a second a lap quicker than everyone, lap after lap after lap in the warm-up. He's probably my pick for the race this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do.
Okay, I think we can go down now to the pits. We've sorted out our communication issues, and Huiling, ever hardworking, is down talking to, I think, Zakwan, but I could be wrong.
All right, thank you, Des and Steve, down here on the 1000 grid, the last race of the day. Zakwan, of course, yesterday we saw you suffer a crash. How are you and your bike right now preparing for race 2?
Yeah, actually I quite sad yesterday crash, but I will fight this race for sure. I want to win, and also this morning warm up was good, also good pace, and I hope in the race I don't want to make any mistake, and sure I focus 100%.
All right, thank you, Zakwan. All the best. So we're gonna go a little further back to talk to one of the wildcard that's here with us this weekend, Malaysian rider Shahrul Nizam. So he's a little, he's starting from 14th position on the grid. So we're gonna try to walk to the back and get a chat with Shahrul Nizam. So here we are. Okay, here bike number 28, Shahrul Nizam. So your first time joining the Asian Road Racing Championship. Share with us, how has the entire weekend experience been?
First of all, I would like to say thank you to all my sponsors. That because of them, I'm able to be here. And my team have a difficult time during the practice. I crashed during the practice 3. It was quite bad. And luckily that my team managed to get the bike ready for the qualifying and race 1. So race 1 is okay, then I managed to get a P10, then it's been good actually. It's my first experience. Everything is new to me.
So far enjoying it?
Enjoying so much. Yeah, I'm here just to enjoy the race, be with the Asia best rider.
All right, thank you so much and all the best for your second race. All right, so thank you from the riders here, and that's it for me on the grid. Back to Des and Steve in the studio.
Thanks, Huiling. Hey, that was a lovely interview. You forget, it is all about fun. Yeah, we talk about the winners. Yeah, we talk about the prizes, but it is all about fun, Steve Martin.
Yeah, well, Shahrul Nizam Ramli was extremely fast until he had that big crash and couldn't put it together in qualifying. But in the race, he managed to do a good job and get himself up into that 10th position, which means he was making his way forward. Let's hope that today he can keep on that path and have more fun. Really looking forward to that.
I'm really tickled pink about that comment. It is all about fun. Brock Parks, you mentioned Brock. You've had a chance to have a chat with him. Theoretically, he can win the title today. If Zakwan and Aslan Shah have nil point, Brock can take the title because he's 33 points of Aslan Shah, 48 clear of Zakwan Zaidi.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to do the job as best as he can, and let's hope that he does a good job.
Okay, we can go back down onto the grid where Huiling is talking to somebody who really impressed yesterday on the Ducati, the Access Plus Ducati. She's talking to the Italian Federico Sandi.
All right, thank you, Des and Steve. Back with me again on the grid, this time with Federico Sandi. So your first experience with the Asian Championship. Yesterday, you had a good start in race 1. How has the entire weekend been being a part of the championship?
Yes, this is my first time here in Asia, and
especially with this bike. I never tried the V4 before this race, so we did a good job, I think. We need to improve a little bit the electronic in the bike, but we will see today if the bike can be faster. Thanks to Totti and all the Ducati Philippines that give me the opportunity to race here.
All right, thank you, Sandy, and all the best for race 2. So now back to Des and Steve once again in the studio.
Good interview. He raced really well, and yet he's saying he thinks he might be able to go a little bit better today.
I've got no doubt of that, because that was his first race on that bike under the belt. He hasn't done all the pre-season testing like all the teams have done. It's not a bike that's a proven race-winning package. So he's got on it. He's done that race yesterday, and he's got a whole lot of information that he's been able to talk to the team about last night, and you know, he's going to put it to good use.
For once, we haven't spoken to Brock Parks, and Brock, you did speak to him earlier on today, and he had one or two problems unusually for him. Next to him, Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. In the end, no problems for Aslan Shah. He won the victory yesterday to take his 4th win of the season.
Yeah, Aslan Shah is on fire at this circuit. He really knows it well. He rides well around here. It's a track that suits his style. And I'll tell you what, he was smoother than I've seen him in a long time too. So smooth Aslan is a dangerous one.
Apiwat lost out to Titipong in that Thai battle for P2. He's 3rd fastest, lapping 2:06.661. Zakwan Zaidi, now a very unusual. Now that's a very determined looking Zakwan Zaidi. He's normally a lot more relaxed when he's on the grid. Alongside Yuki Ito, who was another non-finisher yesterday. Yuki 4th in the championship standings. That DNF yesterday ended a run of 3 consecutive podiums. And then next to them is Titipong, who I've loved his work.
Well, Titipong is the only man in the field that's gone with the hard rear tyre this time out. He used that to good effect yesterday, but boy, he looked like he was sliding all over the place. Everybody else now has gone to a soft. Brock Parks has changed from the hard that he used yesterday to a soft rear tyre, and everyone's pretty much got the hard front tyre. Chai Witchett has gone with a soft front tyre, and Katsuma Tsuda from the Victor Racing team has gone with a hard front and a hard rear.
So why would Titipong choose the hard?
Because it worked well for him yesterday, and it's probably, he doesn't need to find the time. He could do the lap times on that tyre, whereas Brock was struggling for grip. He would have tried the soft in the morning warm-up, discussed it, and now they've made that decision. We'll know shortly if it was the right choice.
Formation lap going on, 15 starters. There were 15 starters yesterday, only 12 finishers. Here are the 15 starters. Brock Parks, the experienced Australian. He's the potential champion. He is in P1. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman on the BMW. Next to him in P2. Won yesterday. Abiwat Wangtananon on the Yamaha in P3. The first of the Hondas, Zakwan Zaidi in P4. The 23-year-old Malaysian. Yuki Ito, who's a regular face here, always smiling, but would like to get a few more podiums, I'm sure, in P5, next to Titipong. Onto the 3rd row of the grid, and welcome to Federico Sandi on the Ducati Panigale. Ahmed Yudhishthira crashed out yesterday. Yudhishthira in P8 on the Yamaha, next to TJ Alberto on the 2nd fastest of the Ducatis, and the Filipino knows there's a little bit of pressure on him now that Sandy's proven the Ducati can go quickly. Chai Witchett, Ratapong Willarot are the ties in 10 and 11. Suda from the Victor Racing team in P12, lapping at 2:09.577. Adriancia, Cheryl Nizam Ramley from on the BMW for the FTA Liquimoli Racing team, and Jonathan Serapika making it 3 Ducatis. And those Ducatis, even though they haven't won championship points or major, haven't had podiums, they sound beautiful.
They sound beautiful, and they are very, very fast machines, especially in the straight line. There's plenty of straights here. But this race is going to be an absolute blinder. Fujiwara will be keeping his eyes on his man. Ting Note, Titipong, remember he's had that coming back from injury, had a broken back, a terrible injury it was, but he's back to his best, if not riding better than he was before, in my opinion.
Imagine what he's like when he's fully fit and hasn't got flu.
Well, that's right, yeah. You wouldn't think it, would you, looking at him out there? I mean, it's hard just to walk down the pit lane in all reality, isn't it? It's that humid and stifling out there. Tamada, Another famous ex-MotoGP star. Of course, he's keeping an eye on his man, number 21 there, Zakwan Zaidi. Zakwan Zaidi, out of interest, he did in the morning warm-up 2:06.0, quicker than the pole time and 0.7 quicker than his qualifying time. He should have just turned up on Sunday morning.
Not quite as simple as that. Looking forward to seeing if Sandy is able to replicate his form, certainly in the first half of the race yesterday. It'll be 11 laps of this 5.5 kilometre Sepang circuit. Some renovation work going on in the main grandstand, but you've seen the nice crowds in the pit side crowd, which I always think is the better angle, actually, if you can see what's going on in the pits. There was Aslan Shah, yesterday's race winner, chasing a 5th victory of the season. He's won more races than Brock Parks, the championship leader, but trails Parks by 33 points, largely because he's had 2 DNFs, Aslan Shah, Kamra Zaman. So when the red lights go on, we will peer through the murk. Brock Parks getting off to a very good start, as did the man right behind him, Zakwan Zaidi. Zakwan bike 21 did well. Coming out of nowhere there, Titipong. Explosive start from the tie, and it's Titipong into the first corner.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one man that got a terrible start. Oh, big moment already by Titipong. You can just see the rear of that hard tyre just letting go. He's the only guy that's decided to use it, but that's his style. He just rides it loose.
Well, he's gone for it big time as Titipong. He's taken the gamble of the hard tyre because it felt good. Zakwan Zaidi being dragged alongside him. Coming through also bike number 24, way downtown.
It's Apiwat.
It is Apiwat, isn't it? He appeared from nowhere. 23, Brock Parks, trying to see where Parks has parked himself. There he is, quite happily on the shoulder now of Apiwat.
Yeah, he's got himself in a good position. He's just moved himself in front of Zakwan Zaidi. Keep an eye on Zakwan Zaidi though, because he was really fast in the morning warm-up. He's got some good pace. He doesn't want to make a mistake, but he certainly doesn't want to get dropped off of these front 3 guys. But Titipong is on a mission at the front with a hard tyre. He shouldn't be able to do it. You can just see his bike moving around all over the place. Another moment for Titipong there. He is just riding that thing on the limit. He's shaking his head. Why do you reckon it's happening? Another big slide. He's the only man. Up the inside goes Parks. Clean move.
Parks takes P2.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Sorry, he's in 3. It was Apiwat striking back.
But it's Titipong who leads the way. You could see that little shake of the head. Why did I choose a hard rear? That was almost what he was saying. Parks up the inside. Parks takes the lead.
Yeah.
And Titipong, can he respond? Titipong to the left of that shot. Inside of him, you've got Titipong and Apiwat. Titipong is just able to hold on though, but an aggressive move from Brock Parks, who's trying to put yesterday's performance behind him.
Absolutely, and this is what Brock can do. If he has a bad first race, that team is so good at analysing and turning it around. He's normally a race 2 winner. He'll be hoping to do that today. This is the most important race of the year for Brock Parks, because if he can come out of here with a good result, he can have a pretty calm tyre land, and I'll tell you what, that's what he'll be aiming for.
Currently in P3 as he has to stand up straight, Brock Parks, because Apiwat, clearly he is taking no prisoners today, but Titipong, the lead was 0.261, less than a second between 1 and 6, and 6 is Federico Sandi.
Just have a look at this. He's dived up the inside as Brock, but Apiwat comes across the front, just about takes his front wheel out. That is not what he wants, and the number 24 has gone into the lead this time round.
Apiwat takes on Titipong. How about that in P5 as well? Is that the Ducati?
Yeah, he's
Federico Sandi ahead of Zakwan Zaidi.
Yeah, Federico Sandi is on a move, and top speed, if you want to know how fast that Ducati is, everyone else has done 282, he's done 287.
That is quick. But the man in the lead is Apiwat Wongtananon. And Titipong's explosive start, his confidence must be rattled by the back end whittling, as it has on 3 occasions now, Titipong.
Well, he's not scared. He doesn't mind it when it does that. But the thing is that like it's going to catch him out at some point. You can't keep riding like that and get away with it. So he's going to have to like rein it in at some time or use a bit of luck. I was expecting a little bit more from Zakwan Zaidi, I've got to say. After the morning warm-up performance, he should be closer to the front.
currently in P6, just ahead of Yuki Ito. Amadou Destera in P8. This is a high-class field, I tell you. Those top 8, including Ratapong, are all capable of taking victories. Once again, Brock Parks has to have a little look on the inside. Titipong, he takes a completely different line from Apiwat. 2 different lines down the main straight, but it's Apiwat who leads. Parks leaves the braking very late, and Brock Parks...
Shah's loose. Oh, Aslan Shah. I don't know if you saw that, but in the background there, he was braking so late. Aslan Shah wants to win this one. He knows that you can't let Brock Parks go. But Parksy now moves up into 2nd position, and he slipstreams past on the inside.
It is Brock Parks who is just behind Apiwat, 0.059. Apiwat has got seemingly straight line speed. Titipong now through into P2. This is the early stages, gents, less of the jousting.
Oh no, keep it up. This is good stuff. You want to earn that victory, don't you? And Brock Parks is certainly not being given it here. But I tell you, as I said before, super important race for Brock Parks to get those points so that he can have an easy time out when he gets into Thailand, the final round.
Aslan Shah, Kamruzaman, currently in P4. We'd like to maybe just get a little bit closer as Titipong once again just goes on the inside, has a look at Apiwat.
I'll tell you who's coming. Federico Sandi is on a move. He's moved himself up into 5th position now. He's gone past Zakwan Zaidi, and he's looking pretty dangerous there.
Federico Sandi, bike 15, right on the tail of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. There is the Ducati. Looks beautiful, nicely balanced. And then when you get the Ducati opening the throttle in the 2 big straights, that's when you hear it. But he's lost a little bit of ground here. Apiwat leads from Titipong. There is Sandi. How's he riding, Steve Martin?
Yeah, he's riding fantastically. I mean, you've got to consider that he hasn't done all the pre-season testing of the other guys. New to the Ducati, hasn't ridden the Ducati before. He says he hasn't been to this track before. So he's just been doing a fantastic job. And I know that they made a lot of changes to that bike overnight. He ran out of tyre in race 1. Let's see what happens in race 2.
Here he is, just coming round the corner in P5. It's Apiwat who leads from Titipong and Brock Parks.
Oh, big moment there. Not sure which Yamaha that was, but out of the seat, that could have been Yuki Ito that had a moment there, nearly high-sided.
Titipong it is, though, who's got the straight line speed, slides into the corner. You can see he's having trouble holding on to that. Apiwat looks on the inside, but Titipong able to come round the hairpin bend. This time it's Titipong. He's laid down a marker there on that straight.
He certainly has. One thing we know about that Kawasaki is it is very, very fast. But watch Aslan Shah now. Aslan Shah is looking for way up the inside too, but Titipong takes the lead. Let's see what he can do now with a bit of clear track in front of him.
Little bit further down, Suda's just gone through. He's 10 seconds behind. Shah Nizam, Ramley and Jonathan Serapika look like they may have had problems. No, Shah Nizam just gone through, and Serapika on the 2nd Ducati a little bit further behind.
It is the number 100, Ting Notes, still managing to keep the lead. There's Udistra. He's back on the track. Have a look at this. Look at this. That was Udis that had that moment there. Big out of the seat moment. Lucky to hold it all together. And he'll take a half a lap to recover from that one.
But good enough to hold it together as well.
Absolutely.
You're clearly right at the top of your game as Apiwat goes on the inside of Titipong. They had a battle royale yesterday. Good battle going on today as well. Brock Parks in P3. Aslan Shah looks over the shoulder, not made a move yet. He'll be aware of the Ducati of Sandi behind him. And Zakwan Zaidi's still well in touch with this leading group, Steve.
Yeah, it's a good bunch of different makes and models of bikes up there at the moment. There's a little bit of a smattering of everything in there. Something for all of the fans to shout about. But I'll tell you what, watch that Ducati wind up when we get out of that final curve. If he's that close to Aslan Shah, he might strike into turn 1. We're coming out now through the back section. Watch Brock Parks through here. He tries to dive up the inside, can't do it.
BMW of Aslan Shah is being trailed by Sandi on the Ducati, and then Zakwan Zaidi hasn't been able to make any headway. Right, so many different lines some going on the grandstand route, and coming through is Apiwat. He was second at the end of the previous lap. This time he's been able to put down a marker. What are we? After this it'll be 7 laps to go. We're about 1/3 of the way through this race, and it is Apiwat who leads from Titipong ahead of Parks onto Aslan Shah, Federico Sandi in 5th, Zakwan Zaidi in P6, Yudhishthira, Yuki Ito and Ratapong, but 2.4 seconds between 1 and 8.
I'll tell you what, Apiwat has had a couple of podiums this year, a 3rd place in race 1. I reckon that he's going to hang it on the line and try and get a victory here today.
Titipong back in the lead though.
Yeah, Titipong, with the only man using that hard rear tyre up in the front group, is doing a fantastic job at the moment. The only guy that can make that hard tyre work.
I was going to say that should benefit him later on in the race, surely.
Well, you would think so, you would think so. And there goes Federico Sandi. He's through and moved up into 4th place, and I can tell you what, he won't want to finish 4th, will he?
Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, I think taken by surprise, the BMW. Man, he looked up in surprise. There is the Ducati. Let's have another look at it. And it's going round the outside. That's just raw power.
Yeah, it was a really strange line there by Aslan Shah. Perhaps he came out of the last one a little bit wide, but Aslan not having the same sort of speed that he had last time. Look at how compact the field is, Des.
Titipong is leading the way. Brock Parks in P3 is looking for a win here. He's riding a lot smoother than he did yesterday, but he's very aware that he's got Federico Sandi very, very close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all in a line. But Zakwan in danger of being dropped by this front 5.
There's still a long way to go in this race. It's almost like the last lap. Apiwat looks up the inside, but there's still 7 laps to go. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Ducati, I mean, look at the Ducati moving out of there.
Zakwan Zaidi has actually been dropped. He's P7. Who's that moving out of the line? It is the BMW of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. He's losing a little bit of ground. And Zakwan going backwards. Yudhishthira and Yuki Ito have got the better of Zakwan Zaidi, who is now down to P8.
Yeah, perhaps there was more to that crash than he let on the other day. Perhaps there was something that is not working the way that it should.
There is bike number 100, Titipong on the Kawasaki, leading the way. Zakwan Zaidi, talk to me how he's riding. Are you seeing any inhibition there? Not on that occasion, as he goes on the inside there of Yuki Ito to take back 7th place.
Yeah, it was Yudhishthira there, nearly lost the front as he went in there and allowed Zakwan Zaidi to nip up the inside. And in the meantime, Aslan Shah's got back past the Ducati, man, so there's a bit of a tussle going on. But doing a great job out front is Titipong Warrakor.
The lead was 0.277, 1 second between 1 and 5 at the end of the previous lap, then another second down between a 3 battle. But Zakwan Zaidi looks like he's winning that little battle. Is he able to get closer to show the kind of form he showed in practice this morning? That's the question for the 23-year-old Zakwan.
Well, up the inside goes Aslan Shah, and this is your battle for the championship between these two guys. And that was a pretty forceful move up the inside there. Great move by Aslan Shah. Brock will not like that. He won't want to fall back through the pack any more than that. And there's a certain Ducati rider that doesn't care about Brock Parks or where he finishes, because Federico Sandi is still on a bit of a mission out there.
The Australian Brock Parks currently in 4th place. He finished 4th yesterday, and in Zhuhai, and in Buriram. His worst position was a 5th place in race 2 in Malaysia on round 1 of the 7 of the series. Here is that overtaking manoeuvre.
Yep, just nipped up the inside there. Brock caught Brock by surprise. Brock stood it up a little bit, but as clean a move as you would like. You can just see the rear ends of those bikes now with the riders on the soft tyres starting to move around as well in the slipstream as they head down there. And it's Aslan Shah's pulled out of the slipstream. He's hard on the brakes. We know he's good on the brakes. He's gone up the inside. A great move by Aslan Shah.
Aslan Shah, he's got himself into P2. Plenty of power on that BMW as we approach the halfway point, just now beyond halfway. Titipong will lead on the Kawasaki from the BMW of Aslan Shah. Apiwat followed by Parks and Sandi. Behind them, Zakwan is the best of that rest, but Zakwan trying his damnness to get onto the tail end of those front five.
Aslan Shah has just smashed it into a 206.6, 0.5 or 6 quicker than everybody else that last lap. He is on a mission out there at the moment, and to put that into perspective, that's only 0.3 slower than his qualifying time.
Titipong slides, Aslan Shah very, very close. Great action, great gamble by Titipong, but the man's gambles seem to come off. Aslan Shah, second place, bike number 25, the local hero. He really has had a stellar career, Aslan Shah Kamuzan, and now they're approaching the veteran stage, but still clearly got it at the top level. Apiwat, though, putting pressure on the BMW of Aslan Shah as they come into this strong right-hand corner. Split time there for Apiwat. Apiwat the quickest there, 26.261 through sector one. Aslan Shah goes on the inside, takes the lead. Can he hold on to it? The answer is a yes.
Oh, he's done a great job there. Brock Parks tried to snip up the inside of Apiwat there too. He didn't pull that off, but Aslan Shah loses the front there. He lost the front. He holds it up on his knee. That's a bit of a warning that you're on the limit there, Aslan. But I tell you what, this is how you're going to have to win this championship, is you're going to have to ride on the limit, and that's what he's doing right here, Des.
Right, as Aslan Shah and Titipong are involved in a battle royale, I can tell you Zakwan Zaidi is putting pressure on Federico Sandi for P5. In fact, Zakwan has got ahead of Sandi into P5. They come down the straight. Brock Parks moves on the inside of Apiwat, but it's Aslan Shah who leads Titipong. We better calm it down a bit because there's still 4.5 laps to go.
You're absolutely right, and I tell you what, the action is not over yet, because Aslan Shah, interesting to see what sort of lap time he does this time round with a clear track in front of him and a front end lose. Yeah, he lost 207.4 that time round, but boy, it was an exciting lap. He is managing to pull out a little bit of a gap, and he is pushing that front Dunlop tyre to the limit out there at the moment.
Frantically working on the calculations, but so far the calculation is that he's in the lead, and Titipong is the man who's behind him. Titipong, who led for the previous 3.5 laps or so. Apiwat, where's Apiwat? 0.7 of a second down, under real pressure from Brock Parks is Apiwat.
Zakwan Zaidi's not out of this yet. He really is starting to find a bit of the pace that he had in the morning warm-up. So keep an eye on him. He was the fastest man on the previous lap. So Zakwan Zaidi, definitely a man on a mission. And I think Brock Parks did his fastest lap of the race last time round at 207.6.
So Brock is winding it up. We're just coming to the business end. That tends to be when Brock does his best work.
Well, no point warming up too early. You don't win the race on the first lap, you win it on the last lap. So Brock Parks with it all to play for, especially with Aslan Shah leading the way here at the moment.
As you say, Aslan Shah not the tidiest. Zakwan now up to P5, back onto the back wheel there of Brock Parks, with Apiwat just in front of him. Great call you've made on Zakwan, and no mistakes from him there as he takes a wide angle.
Well, he was doing 1 second a lap quicker than this in the morning warm-up after about this amount of laps on the tyre. So if he can just get through this traffic, he's less than 2 seconds off the lead. There's plenty of time to do it.
It's less than 1.5 seconds off the lead, but It is the traffic that he's got to worry about, because the straight line speed might not be there. It is there for the BMW though, and this is looking impressive for Aslan Shah. Not comfortable by any stretch of the imagination, but impressive.
Well, we know that Titipong Tingnote, as he likes to be called, doesn't mind getting that ZX10 Kawasaki sideways when he has to, and he's been looking pretty smooth the last couple of laps. So Titipong definitely got a little bit left in the tank, I think, to take it down to that final lap.
Zakwan has pulled out a second lead over Federico Sandi, so these front five are just about clear, barring accidents, which I'm not barring. the front three will come from these five. At the moment, Aslan Shah, going for a double victory, is under pressure from Titipong. Titipong hasn't had a win this season. Second yesterday was the best that he's done, and Apiwat in P3. Now then, has Zakwan made a move on Brock Parks? Zakwan has a look on Brock Parks, and Zakwan Zaidi is ahead of Brock Parks and up to P4.
Yep, he certainly made a nice clean move there. He's got 3 laps to go and 3 guys to overtake. That's the task for the man on the number 21 machine. A big job, and Honda Asia Dream Racing with Shah keeping their fingers crossed back in the pits that this man can find that pace that he showed in the morning warm-up and can hold it all together.
It is a decent recovery because he was a long way down in P6. He's got past Sandy, now he's got past Parks. They are two big obstacles to overcome.
Oh, there he goes. What a save. What a save. Oh, that was Marquez. That was Abiwath. What an incredible, Zakwan Marquez Zaidi. Here we go, he goes in there, he's just pushing that front tyre, and you can see, bang, there, foot off the peg, foot in the air, and loses the front, and does the Marquez move, and saves it. What an amazing thing. I think you can only do that if you're on a Honda.
Well, that proves that he's pressing it, but it has cost him a little bit of time because the front three are pulling away from Zakwan Zaidi. Now then, Titipong looks on the inside. The Kawasaki leaves the braking late, but you've got to be desperately brave to leave the braking later than Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. There is Zakwan in P4, Parks on a rail. Sandy's under pressure from Ito, who's made a good comeback. They come through. There is the race leader, Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. We have got 2 laps to go into this first right-hander. Can Zakwan recover from that earlier error?
Yeah, Aslan Shah is really pushing and asking questions of that BMW. The front end, we've seen it moving around. He's already lost the front once, and with a guy like Titipong behind him, and also Abiwath. Remember, Abiwath hasn't won a race in this class yet. He will be putting... This is the best chance he's had. He hasn't been this close to the front in my memory. So I tell you what, things are going to get serious in the next 10 kilometres.
Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, just a little bit of a wheelie there as he puts the pressure on. He is leading. The lead was 0.2 only at the end of the previous lap, but he's just looking like he's riding very, very smoothly. Apiwak desperately trying to keep up, and these front three are pulled away from Zakwan, who, spectacular though it was, that little mistake has cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, Aslan Shah's under a lot more pressure this race than he was yesterday. There's Yudhishthira.
Ahmed Yudhishthira out for the second time this weekend. In the meantime, the 1XOX bike of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman continues just to put the pressure on, and Titipong now under pressure from Apiwat Wangtananong.
Yeah, but it is Aslan Shah now who's starting to just get a bit of a gap. Look at that, he's pulled out a couple of bike lengths. That's pretty impressive. He's put the hammer down. 2:07.4 last time round for him, but this lap is going to be pretty fast. He really is starting to stretch the lead. Apiwath now looking up the inside, but as he comes onto that big, long back straight as he head into turn 15, the guys are running out of time now. Not much Brock Parks can do. He looks like he's safe back there in 5th position. Zakwan Zaidi just needs to get to the finish, but the battle is in the front three. What will Titipong do? He's got to give it everything he can.
In the overall championship standings, a victory here for Aslan Shah will give him, maybe 14 or 15 points to claw back over Brock Parks. That will pull him within to about 20 points and 2 races still to go. But he's got to win the race first, Aslan Shah Kamruzaman.
Well, you've got to think that the BMW at a track like Chang International Raceway will be very, very fast.
Absolutely. That is last weekend of November, 1st of December for round 7. Now though, Aslan Shah, the lead was nearly half a second. He put in a huge lap last time out, 2:06.887. Sorry, 2:06.626. That's quick.
That is quick. He's been holding back now. This is a pretty impressive lap time. That's 0.3 off of his qualifying pace. Why do they come and qualify when they can go that fast in the race? I don't know, but Aslan Shah is really hanging it on the line now.
Neil close to the tarmac, arm leg out just to get the balance going. Not the neatest and tidiest of riders at the best of times, but here he really is putting it down. Back wheel slides just a little bit.
He's just riding beautifully out there at the moment. He's showing who's the boss. He is the boss. Aslan Shah, as he heads into this last lap, brilliant riding. He's stretching them out. Don't clap too soon, guys, because there's still a bit to go here. He's on the limit. He's asking questions. Look at him. He's all over the place. He's run wide there, but he manages to hold it together. He's really pulling this thing together nicely.
Aslan Shah Kamruzaman really turning it on. It's a big lead, no mistakes. That's all he can say. Behind them, Apiwat goes on the inside of Titipong. Aslan Shah leads. The kisses are there already. It's premature, surely. Maybe it's not. Behind them, Apiwat is moving in, but Aslan Shah, Kamruzaman, this one last corner to negotiate. The hairpin, Titipong right behind him. A double is on for Aslan Shah. Titipong able to hold off Apiwat perhaps. Aslan Shah, Kamruzaman comes in for a double. A 50-point weekend for Aslan Shah. Behind him, Titipong, Apiwat, fourth place Zakwan, Brock Parks comes in fifth.
What a great race that was, and boy, Aslan Shah, what a brilliant weekend. And of course, over the line comes Radapong Willarot. Not a weekend that he'll remember, but he's heading home to Thailand for the final round, where hopefully he can refine the form that he's had throughout the year. But Aslan Shah, I've got to say, that was an incredible race by him. In the last couple of laps, his last lap was a 2:06.6. It was like nearly 0.8 of a second quicker than Titipong Warrakorn in second position. Apiwath Wongthananom, what a race he had as well. The leading Yamaha, and great news for the Thai Racing Yamaha team for him. Really good result for those guys. Yuki Ito, he had a good result too. You've got to take a head off to Ducati this week, and they've proven as well that they can be so strong.
Indeed, well done by Sandy, just losing out to Ito. Ratapong in 8th, Chai Wichit in 9th, Ali Adrianza in 10th, TJ Alberto, he's just got to finish, as has Cheryl Nizam and Jonathan Surapika. No finish though for Amadou Stira or Kazuma Suda, who went out after 6 laps. But yeah, finger in the air. You know, he's in the veteran stages, Aslan Shah, but you look at his fitness, you look at how well he's riding. He's got years in the tank.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the way that he just rode that last lap, he had more skill, more bravery, more of everything than anybody on those last couple of laps. He kept his powder dry, looked after his tyres in the first part of the race, and then let them all have it at the finish. And that is the making of a champion. I tell you what, Brock Parks hasn't won this thing yet. He's going to have a big ask, and I'll tell you, Aslan Shah, when it comes to the final round, what do you think? He's going to be hard to beat.
It's 19 points only, the lead for Brock Parks going into the final 2 races of the season. 25 points available, so
per race.
So
yeah.
So a first and a third. Brock Parks gets 2/3, he's champion.
That's it, but he didn't get third today, did he?
Correct.
So it's going to be a difficult weekend in Thailand for Brock Parks, that's for sure.
Here is the results. Unofficial, probably official confirmation. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman on the BMW wins it. 1.255 seconds clear of the Kawasaki of Titipong. Apiwat on the Yamaha in 3rd place. Zakwan Zaidi did well to get up into 4th. Brock Parks 5th on the Yamaha. Ito 6th ahead of Sandy, who once again, back tire maybe just went away in the last couple of laps in P7, and Ratapong Chai Wichit 9th, 17.5 seconds down. Ali Adrian Shah, well done to him, finishing 30 seconds down, or 29 seconds down. TJ Alberto 121, just ahead of Cheryl Nizam on the BMW. Jonathan Surapika finishing the race, so we'll pick up points, 3 points for that. Amadou Stira and Suda did not finish. Well, brilliant. Aslan Shah, he's kept the championship alive, which is all he can really be asked of going into this weekend. Back-to-back wins on your home track must feel good.
Well, I mean, you just wait and see the reception he gets there. Here we go, burnout time, and who needs grip now? That was just a sensational, you know, he deserves to do that. Brilliant stuff there by that man, Aslan Shah. He knows how to win races, but I'll tell you what, that was just such a brilliant display for me. I wasn't expecting it this time out, and you can see there, he knew that he had more in the tank. He's actually coming into some pretty good form at the right time of year. I reckon that win's going to mean a lot to him as well. But Titipong as well on the Kawasaki, I mean, he rode hard. He really did. That Kawasaki was spinning all over the place. How many moments did he have on the first couple of laps? He was lucky to get to the end.
Do you think the gamble paid off for him then?
Well, I don't know. He used a hard tyre twice. I would say the gamble didn't pay off for Brock Parks. whatever the problem was, he didn't manage to hold it together.
The man behind the 1XOX team who've made a real impact, not only this weekend, but this season. 3 victories for them in the 8 races today. Decent crowds. Behind them, you've got the forests of it's the Sepang area. The airport is nearby. I always hate it when the last race is done because it's a real downer. You've had such excitement, such literally edge of your seats excitement, edge of the seats excitement specifically for Zakwan Zaidi. Let's go down though to Wheeling and let's get the reaction of the top 3 for the ASB1000 race we've just seen.
Thank you, Des. Apiwa, double podium for the weekend here in Sepang. Today, you were definitely closer and battling in the front for the win.
Yeah, today is difficult. Many riders in the front row is many overtake in the half section, but I in the feeling is concentrate in the line. Follow in the front group, Aslan and Sitipong. But in the exit the corner, the bike is slowly in the open. But yeah, I keep the mistake and improve in the home race in Buriram. Thank you for my team and my sponsor, everything. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Apiwa. And coming in second place today is Titipong Warakon. So Titipong, of course, we know that you're still recovering from your fever, but you did really well today following the front group all the way.
Yeah, today me working a lot because yesterday me know I need to today winner, but in the start me really good, but me try to in the first always, but the last moment in the try really sleepy, but the Alan take me, but me need to follow and put in the last lap, but cannot follow because a little bit Alan more fast in the last 2 laps. So me keep to second podium, but today me really happy because me not 100%, but I can being high fact in the podium again. Yeah, me really happy, but me need to say thank you the Kawasaki Talenting team and PTT, all sponsor, and a lot of fans in Malaysia and in Thailand for cheer up me. Thank you very much. ครับ
Okay, thank you, Titipong. And today's race winner, also a double winner for the weekend in the ASB 1000 class, Aslan Shah Kamaruzaman. So Aslan, we're going to start. You struggled a little in the beginning, but in the second half, you definitely turned up another gear. And in the final lap, you did an amazing lap time to finish the race. So share with us how was race 2.
Yeah, in beginning, I make a very slow start. So I was like 4 or 5, something like that. And looks like everybody is manage the tire. So everybody a bit calm. But half the race, I say, this is boring, let's go. So I just, after I pass everyone and I start to push, and a few times look back just to make sure where's the gap. Anyway, I'm very happy today, double win in Sepang. This means a lot to me. Team do a great job this weekend, and we have another race to go. It's Buriram, and let's hope we do the same there. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're mentioning Buriram, you are bringing the title chase all the way down to the final round, which you have done previously in the Super Sport 600cc, and you're very familiar with Buriram circuit. So how are you looking forward to the final race battle going head-to-head for the championship title?
I think it's going to be tough race because like previous race, I've been fighting with Brock Parks and Ting Note, also Zakwan. So sure, it's going to be a difficult race in Buriram. I will try my best and try to
to fight the championship.
All right, thank you so much, Aslan. We'll see all three riders on the podium.
Good interview from Aslan Shah. Did really well. Boring, I would never call it boring, though. It's Aslan Shah's description, not ours. Let's have a look at the race that secured a double victory for Aslan Shah Kamruzaman in the 1000cc Superbikes at the Asia Road Racing Championship event in Sepang. Early on, it was Titipong who got out very quickly. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, as he said in his interview, not off to the best of starts, Steve Martin.
No, he certainly wasn't. He had work to do at that point, and Apiwath was up there as well. Wong Fonganong was doing a fantastic job. He led the race, and he's been looking stronger as the year's gone on, but that man on the number 100 machine, Titipong Warrakoon, boy, the only man on the hard rear tyre was really taking it to the rest of the field, and he was doing it with that bike moving around all over the place.
There was Aslan Shah making a move on Federico Sandy, and then he said, it's boring, I want to go through. This is where he overtakes Brock Parks in the overall championship standings. That move could be significant.
Absolutely, because Brock wasn't to make his way forward in this race, but the man who was bored at this point of in time, Aslan Shah, was doing everything in his power to get that bike sliding and doing some great lap times, and he did. He had to chase down the Kawasaki man out front, and he got him in style under brakes, and what a move it was.
Titipong knocked into second place by Apiwath. Brock Parks tries to go through on the inside there, but Brock eventually would be overtaken by Zakwon Zaidi, who recovered from a poor start to get himself up into P5, but not without a moment of real scariness for Zakwon Zaidi.
No, he had that big moment there. He came through the corner. The front end was lost, but he managed to save it, and Zakwon Zaidi was at this point right up near the front. We really did think, there it is, there's that moment where he lost the front. Pretty impressive to be able to save that, a Marc Marquez moment, but not the same could be said for Yudhishthira. He went down the road. Yeah, 2 DNS for Yudhishthira. By the end, the victory time was a massive, in our terms, of 1.255 seconds for Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, a 50-point weekend, and that might have real ramifications come the end of the season. So the calm at the end of some great racing today. 4 superb races. Do hope you've enjoyed it. We've now got the podium, and then we'll just give you the diary for the rest of the season. The podium with Hui Ling in her MC role here at Sepang.
We'll begin the podium ceremony for the ASB1000 Race 2. Coming in third place today, Apiwath Wong Tananon from Yamaha Thailand Racing Team. In second place, Titipong Warrakoon from Kawasaki Thailand Racing Team. And today's race 2 winner, Aslan Shah Kamruzaman from 1XOX TKKR SAG Racing Team. Also like to invite the team manager from 1XOX TKKR SAG Racing Team to join the riders on the podium. We will now stand for the national anthem of Malaysia. President of FIM Asia, to present the riders with their trophies. Coming in third place today from Thailand, Apiwat Wongtananon. In second place from Thailand, Titipong Warakon. In today's ASB1000 Race 2 winner from Malaysia, Aslan Shah Kamaruzaman. The best team award goes to 1XOX TKKR SAG Racing Team.
Thanks to Stefan Karapie, the FIM Asia president, for handing out the awards. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, a perfect weekend for Aslan Shah, and he goes into Buriram with the chance of taking the title, but Brock Parks will have a lot to say about that. Titipong second despite illness. That's a really good effort from the Thai. Apiwat Wongtanan has to be content with 2 third places. Okay, what does that mean to the championship, I hear you ask? Here's what it means, ladies and gentlemen. It means that going into the final round, Brock Parks has a lead over Aslan Shah Kamruzaman of just 19 points. Zakwan Zaidi is 48 points adrift. Probably too much for him to make an impression. Yuki Ito in fourth. Apiwat's reward is an opportunity to maybe pick up a top 3 berth. Titipong, great weekend for him. 40 points for Titipong. Takes him up to 107. We move on next to Buriram, and the Buriram is the last race of the season. It's the weekend 29th November to the 1st of December. The FIM Asia Road Racing season has taken us from Sepang to Adelaide, on to Buriram, Suzuka, Zhuhai in China, back here in Sepang, and we've got one more long-haul flight to take us to the Chang International Circuit. Once again, if the racing is even half as good as it has been here in round 6 in Sepang, it will be well worth watching. As usual, it's been our privilege and pleasure to bring you the racing. From Steve Martin in the analyst chair to all the team behind the scenes, our very thanks to you for joining us. This is the Asia Road Racing Championship season of